All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, those making their bodies a living sacrifice, especially the more so in these last days. My name is Malak out of the GMS Dallas branch, coming back with another live lesson in all truth and sincerity. And it's sent down. It's entitled Sincere Fear of the Lord. All right, sincere fear of the Lord. And one of the key elements of the righteous men that were studied in the scriptures that were beloved, if you will, of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai was one thing that they all had in common was the fear of the Lord. That was one thing through and through, the characteristic that moved them and set them in a position that was nigh unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, okay? And that's something that we should strive to do within our walk. That's something that is pleasing unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And it goes far beyond, putting up a facade for a brother, putting up any kind of, playing a role, if you will, all right? Doing things that, you're only doing for the Lord to see. You see, and so just touching on that theme. All right, we're gonna get a couple precepts. We ain't gonna make it long, you know. But the sincerity is key in this thing. So yeah, like I said, we'll go ahead and start here. This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 11. It says, the fear of the Lord. Matter of fact, yeah, we'll start at verse 11. It says, the fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and the crown of rejoicing. Okay, the fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. And you see, one of the themes of Sirach, the first chapter, is because this is, Sirach, or a lot of the scriptures were written in a song type format or a poem type format. And one of the things that you can see when you just look at the structure of a Sirach is, the repetitive nature. Okay, the fear of the Lord. Right. You see how it starts right here, the fear of the Lord, and then it comes back again, the fear of the Lord. Right, in the next line, right, the next verse, right, and then it says, "Whoso feareth the Lord." That's that common hook. All right, the fear of the Lord, and it even ends the chapter out with that too. You know, yeah, the fear of the Lord. Distrust not the fear of the Lord, right? That repetitious nature. All right. And let's get what that means, just to touch upon it, right? Repetition in literature. Repetition meaning in literature. Okay, here we go. Literary terms. Let me zoom in for y'all, brothers. Okay, repetition. Quite simply, repetition is the repeating of a word or phrase. It is a common rhetorical device used to add emphasis and stress in writing and speech. Repetition is widely used in poetry and prose throughout all genres and forms of literature and oral tradition. aside from helping stress or highlighting or highlight important thoughts. Yeah, aside from helping stress or highlight important thoughts and points, repetition can be a key tool for authors and speakers in developing style, tone, and rhythm. Okay, and that is the whole rhythm. That is the whole moving force. Oh, fucking ad. That is the whole moving force of our message, man. Is the fear of the Lord. You see that repetitive nature of how Sirach opened up the book of Sirach. That embodies the Lord and how we should be moving in these times, especially in these times. All right, um, you know. But let's read this verse verse 13. It says, "Whoso feareth the Lord," Sirach 1:13. "Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death." Okay, and just like our forefather Noah, right when he had his time at the end of the world, right, we'll get that example. And I just want to touch upon this because you know there was a order in the I mean, he's seen things. He's seen the pre-diluvian world and then the post-diluvian world, which diluvian is just a fancy word for the flood. All right, he's seen the change that happened, and we're about to witness that. Lord will, we see both sides of things, and we're able to walk into the kingdom of heaven, and we don't have to die and come back. Um, or at least if we do die, we are raised up to see Yahweh Shemi Shai's return, right? Um, but you know, Noah was on both sides of the spectrum and he was able to see that. But what happened after the flood is moving when you consider the covenant that was made with him and how he was acting after the fact. I mean, he moved with fear. Um, but first matter of fact, let me start here. Let me start here. This is Hebrews 11:7. It says, "By faith Noah, being warned of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark of the saving of his house." Okay, and that's the same thing we're doing. We're trying to save our house as well. Okay, we're trying to save our family, our legacy, right, as well when we do this work. So when you read this, all right, and I have an account from the Josephus. Okay, when after the flood, Moses, what he did, you know, because of the things that he saw, you have to consider after seeing the world population dwindle down to 8 people, that's gonna traumatize you a little bit, you know, and we can just kind of see the of course we have the evidence of him building the ark, um, of how he moved with fear, but also too, this is just an interesting account to consider when when you consider Noah, okay, and how he's seen the what happened and how he moved afterward, because we're about to see a whole lot of death take place as well, and of course we do the work now, and but it'll be there's going to be a different tone, you know, there's going to be a different tone, if you will, to how we're moving. You see, um, when we really start to see bodies drop, right? I know y'all brothers felt after the assassination attempt upon Trump, right? There was a different tone. Now there's a different tone now of the ministry. There's a different level of things, you see. And I just have this example to for us to just consider, Now this is the Josephus, okay, which of course we just pull out the meat and or chew the meat, spit out the bones, and just to get a bit more context and historical visual of the things that may have been glossed over within the scriptures. Um, but yeah, anyway, this is book one, chapter four, chapter three, I believe. And yeah, it says right here, all right. But as for Noah, he was afraid since the Most High had determined to destroy mankind, lest he should drown the earth every year. So he offered burnt offerings and besought the Most High that nature might hereafter go on in its formerly orderly course, and that he would not bring on such a great judgment any more, by which the whole race of creatures might be in danger of destruction. But that having now punished the wicked, he would of his goodness spare the remainder, and such as he had hitherto judged fit to be delivered from so severe of calamity, for that otherwise these last must be more miserable than the first, and that they must be condemned to a worse condition than others, unless they be suffered to escape entirely, that is, if they be reserved for another deluge. All right. Um, so yeah, Moses was, offering unto the Most High, um, pretty much like, man, that this flood gonna happen every year, right? Is this how he's gonna continue to clean the earth, right? Right, and we'll continue on. It says, um, while they must be afflicted with terror and sight of the first deluge, he and must also be destroyed by a second. He also entreated the Most High to accept of his sacrifice and to grant that the earth might never again undergo the effects of his wrath, that men might be permitted to go on cheerfully in cultivating the same, to build cities and live happily in them, and that they might not be deprived of any of those good things which they enjoyed before the flood, but might attain to the length of days and old age which the ancient people had arrived at before. Next paragraph, it says, when Noah had made these supplications, the Most High, who loved the man for his righteousness, granted entire success to his prayers, and said that it was not he who brought the destruction on a polluted world, but that they underwent that vengeance on account of their own wickedness, and that he had not brought men into the world if he had himself determined to destroy them, it being an instance of greater wisdom not to have granted them life at all, after it was granted to procure their destruction. But the injuries, he said, they offered to my holiness and virtue forced me to bring punishment upon them, but I will leave off for the time to come to require such punishments the effect of so great wrath, for their future wicked actions, and especially on account of thy prayers. But if I shall at any time send tempest of rain in an extraordinary manner, be not affrighted at the largeness of the showers, for the water shall no more overspread the earth. Okay. And it says, however, I require you to abstain from shedding blood of men, and to keep yourselves pure of murder from murder, and to punish those that commit any such thing. I permit you to take use of all the other living creatures at your pleasure and as your appetites lead you, for I have made you lords of them all, both of those that walk on the land and those that swim in the waters, and those that fly in the regions of air on high. So, yeah, pretty much, the Lord is letting him know like how to judge the world, this world now, how to maintain things. Of course, we know that wasn't going to be the final, um, you know, destruction of the world, but it was going to happen again. But just kind of giving him the way to govern now, and how that we use the animals to eat food, certain ones, of course, and how we are to treat man upon earth. You see, just how to maintain, order upon the earth, is what he was, what he gave to Noah as well, what was passed down, right, through that oral tradition, from the Most High, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, okay. And it says, but I will give you a sign that I have left off my anger by my bow, whereby is meant the rainbow, for they determined that the rainbow was the bow of the Most High. And when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua has said and promised thus, he went away. Okay, so yeah, the Lord seen, you know, the terror of Noah, and how he moved, because he thought that this world, it was every year, it was gonna be this was gonna be done, right? And he was on point, trying to sacrifice to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, so much so where the Lord put that sign in the sky of it being a bow, or where we get the term rainbow. And just the thought is funny how, he calls it a bow. Um the covenant is a bow. When you consider like a bow, it's a weapon of war. Um, you know, so that's just interesting there. But let me see. Let me see that word bow. We're gonna get, yep, here we see. Cloud bow. Kwashath. Okay, Kwashath. It says bow for hunting battle, bowmen, archers, bow. Okay. And it's interesting how, the end of the sign of this world, that the pre-diluvian world, or the pre-flood world, all right, the sign that that world was destroyed, or you know the covenant that was made was, with the rainbow. All right, the sign that the Lord wouldn't do that again was with he calls with, a bow or a arch. It says the bow, bowmen, archers. Okay, of course we know it's the rainbow, but it's funny that we know that this world is over because we see those we see those bows here now. They got those arrows sitting in the bunkers. All right, we see these things being prepared now, um, knowing that that time is nigh. But anyway, um, so yeah, we can see through our forefather Noah that the reaction of him seeing the world be dissolved and, and destroyed, right? Um, and how he moved after the fact, right? Um, and how, from then, of course, we know if he didn't make it after the fact and he didn't move with that fear, he wouldn't have made it. But that fear continued on into the next world, right? But that's kind of like a precursor of how we should be, right? After this world is destroyed, to fear the Lord is gonna be, is I won't say too late, but it's just gonna be like, now what? You know, you should have been did that, you know? So having that understanding of now is the time to fear the Lord, having that moment of where, dang, we might miss out, right? The what is it called? Fear of FOMO, fear of missing out, right? FOMO definition. Yeah, FOMO definition. Let's see. Yeah, FOMO is an acronym of fear of missing out, which is an informal term that describes a feeling or of anxiety or apprehension that you might be missing out on something enjoyable or important that others are experiencing, right? So yeah, we have FOMO when it comes to being of the first fruits. All right, fear of missing out. We have a fear of missing out on this opportunity that we have been given. And that's how we should move, right? Fear of missing out on the Lord's mercy, fear of missing out on a blessing that we've been given, fear of missing out on the opportunity, right? And that's what we hope to obtain is mercy, man, power, a blessing, ability to see our enemies fall and us be sustained. That's what we hope for, all right? And having that end goal, that thought of how we would move after we see things happen, having keeping that in mind, it keeps us focused. Okay. So this is Psalms chapter 19, verse 9. It says, "The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are true and righteous altogether." Yeah, the judgments are true and righteous altogether. You see, the fear of the Lord, man. It's clean. It says what? It's clean, enduring forever, right? That's the only thing that's gonna pass on through this world, is the fear of the Lord, man. And of course, everything that comes with that. You see? It says, verse Proverbs 15 and 33. It says, "The fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility." Okay, and that's the state we should be in, is a humiliated state, man. This life is complete humiliation. Okay, it's a humiliation ritual. We're in the lowest state. We don't have jurisdiction and rulership over our women, over our families, over our household. We're subject to payments. We're subject to sickness in this flesh. We're subject to all the forces underneath that anyone could be upon, right? On this earth. We're bound by legal obligations. We're bound by our job. We're bound by this money system, this economic system, the prison industrial complex. We're bound by all these things as an Israelite man, you see. Um, and it's humiliating, but that's the pretext or the precursor before our honor. Okay. And we will be given double. And I believe that sincerely, man. As long as we hold fast unto what we have and not cast this blessing and opportunity away from us through negligence, through any kind of envy, any kind of um well, just that, you know. We have instruction and wisdom, but that's guided through the fear of the Lord. Okay? That is the um the glue, if you will, to make it all fit. Okay? So yeah, I pretty much wanted to touch on that. I'm gonna read this again. Okay. Um, I'm gonna read verse Sirach 1 and 14 just to close it off with. It says, "To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb." Okay. So, you know, fear the Lord, fear the Lord, man. And it should be a sincere fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay. It should be a sincere fear of the Lord, and not to please another man, not to try to, you know, lift up yourself. It has to be sincere. Sincerity is key with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and having that personal relationship with the Lord. You see, we're doing this thing so that we can be preserved. All right. And not no vanity thing, not no this idea of you, not no, you know, act that you put on this persona of being a man. We're not trying to preserve that. We're trying to preserve, the fruits of the spirit, man. Having the spirit upon us and preserve our relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Preserve that. Okay. So, with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rahakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom.